All right, hello and welcome to Sportiqo's The Week That Was. Well, actually speaking, I'm just so excited with the IPL tournament. Every time I see a good innings, I get more excited. And every time I speak to this gentleman on my left, Mr. Ayaz Memon, I realize that there's so much we might have missed out of it. Thank you so much for joining us again, sir.
Thank you, Salil. Thank you.
Things have changed in the last week. We've had some non-performers actually start to perform. And by the way, I want to tell you, in case you guys want to get any refresher courses, please go on the Sportiqo website, go on YouTube, see all the videos that I've given, how to pick the players, which stock is going up, what the point systems are like. All those explainer videos are there. Some surprising names and some very usual suspects as we sort of go week on week. The top performers with the highest points, with the biggest chase was Shikhar Dhawan. 68% his price has changed from his IPO price. Faf du Plessis, Ruturaj Gaikwad, Jos Buttler and Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli is really fast becoming, in that kind of form, 50 of 30 balls that he's starting to hit, where we expect him to. Jos, 22% change only, hasn't really outperformed Shikhar Dhawan, the unbelievable outperformer so far this IPL. Would you agree?
Well, absolutely. I think Shikhar has been the outstanding batsman, the top order batsman.
Absolutely.
And what's more meritorious or more creditable is that he's not playing for a very strong team. The batting lineup is very wobbly. And he's been one kind of a lone guy standing there. Yes, he's got a bit support, some support, but not as much as one would expect. So he's done extremely well.
Virat Kohli and Faf du Plessis, that opening combination is fast becoming the opening combination of this tournament.
Yes, and I think, the thing about combinations is that they must gel together. And I think one of the things, ishara mein baat ho jati hai. They don't need to tell each other what to do. And I like the way they run between wickets. Virat has, that's always been a strength. But Faf also, sometimes you find, especially in the T20 leagues that happen all over the world, that wo chemistry jo hai, sometimes
jamti nahi hai.
One guy is going hammer and tongs, playing a blazing knock, that's fine. Do ballebaz saath mein aisi partnerships construct kare, depends a lot, not just in you match the other for stroke, but also how you run between wickets.
And they're hitting some big sixes also. Devon Conway and Ruturaj Gaikwad themselves, wow, they're also on fire.
Left-right combination bhi hai, and that's going really well. Achha, both of them, they don't look like,
big,
they're not big guys. They're actually slim built. They're slim. And they hit the ball long distance.
That's true.
So the sense of gift of timing dono ke paas hai. And as I mentioned, right-left combination is very difficult for bowling teams. How do you adjust so quickly?
और दोनों अगर अच्छे मार रहे होते तो बड़ी प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है. दोनों बहुत फॉर्म में हैं. The top bowlers so far, the highest total points, Akshar Patel with a total 84 points, 32% change. 𝐤𝐽𝐵𝐻 Chahal doing very well. Ravindra Jadeja performing pretty much like his IPO price, so he's like the blue chip stock that is doing very well. Ravichandra Ashwin also 14% up, and Ravi Bishnoi. From these 5 names, I would say that Bishnoi has been a brilliant IPL performer, and in this tournament, he and Ashwin seem to be in like a league of their own, not just for taking grids, but attitude, runs bhi maar rahe hain Ashwin, bat ke saath mein, so that's a surprising part, I would say.
Yes, I think, spinners are doing well. Or leg spinners are doing particularly well.
True.
𝐤𝐽𝐵𝐻 Chahal you mentioned. Ashwin ka kya hai, wo to har tarah se गेंद को spin करवा रहे हैं.
Correct.
So you can't call him only an off spinner. Carom ball hai, sometimes the ball which goes the other way.
Right.
So it's like a leg spinner.
Absolutely. And so, Akshar is having an okay time, but do you think that 𝐤𝐽𝐵𝐻 is going to come back and stay in like the longer format also with this performance because of how he's performing?
Longer format, you mean?
One day and test.
50 overs, so yes. In the test matches, it's a tough call because if you got Ashwin and Jadeja, and the third spinner to play bahut mushkil hai in test cricket. So,
and Akshar batting ki वजह से रह जाता है.
Akshar batting वजह से तो जबरदस्त खेल रहा
है. He's almost like another Jadeja. So the bowlers doing well. Akshar will fight with 𝐤𝐽𝐵𝐻, कुछ भी हो सकता है. But the big gainers of the week, last week's price was 95. Marcus Stoinis finally comes to the party, a 73% change there. Aiden Markram, Aiden was somebody who was just totally lost. Harry Brook, जो भी non-performers थे सारे आ गए. Akshar and Ishan Kishan again also comes to the party. So these were the top big gainers. The most surprising name of the lot, would you say, is Harry Brook or Marcus?
Neither actually for me.
Okay.
Because Harry Brook is amongst the most talented young players in the world. In my opinion, It's Shubman Gill, Harry Brook and Cameron Green.
Yes.
और ये तीनों जो है, Cameron Green अब तक इतना चमके नहीं है.
Correct.
But all three of them, watch out for them. अभी season बहुत
Cameron Green को लेकिन वो like I was confused. They sent him so low down the order the other day. हाँ. He opened the bowling but came like.
थोड़ा सा I think between Tim David and Cameron Green, किसको कहाँ खिलाना है थोड़ा सा. I'm not saying confusion. It may be a tactic.
I think they should just open with him.
They could open with him. They could open with him. Yes.
Marcus Stoinis is one of those players that always has done well in the IPL.
He has.
And bowling, batting, दोनों. He's not bowled in this tournament much.
हाँ, तो इसीलिए batting में runs बनाना बहुत जरूरी बन गया. And he came good in that knock. That's why his
stocks have risen up. Ishan Kishan, somebody who'd gone off the boil. Do you think this is can bring him back in action? But he's one of those enigmas who I thought would blast and break away. Yes. Double 100 मारा था 50 over में. But it's just sort of withered away in the last, say, 6 months.
You know, there's so much competition. Other people are in the spotlight.
Correct.
And what happened with Ishan Kishan last year? He went for such a fantastic
15 crores or something.
Yeah, many crores.
Yeah.
And then you start your expectations, move according to the price.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's the tendency. और आप वो expectations नहीं meet करते हो, फिर pressure आप पे और बढ़ जाता है.
Right.
But that season is over. अब ये season में अब एक half century बनाया. Let's see how he goes from here.
And also, when he starts hitting the ball long is when you know he's right. The top 5 getters, the highest percentage change with a 73% change. Rituraj, Shikhar, Virat, Faf and Akshar. I think Akshar for us all has been the big surprise performer. Not surprising if you watch his test performances, the way with the bat. He's actually been more, heavy with the bat rather than not really so effective with the ball.
But and also what has happened is Delhi is in turmoil.
Yes.
The team he's not got off the blocks.
Correct.
And वहाँ पर he's the only guy actually who's been, apart from David Warner, who's been getting some runs and looking like a player, worthy.
But even Warner, for me, the destroyer has become the accumulator and the grinder.
It's क्या करें?
हाँ, correct.
What do you do when your top order is just kind of crumbling and you're the only guy remaining? फिर नया दूसरा बैट्समैन जो आता है उसको साथ देने के लिए वो है अक्सर.
तो आपको लगता है कि उनकी सिलेक्शन खराब होगी या the stocks like Prithvi and all that जो बहुत expectation थी वो चलेगी नहीं?
Prithvi not working at all has been a big blow. ऋषभ पंत तो है नहीं.
बिल्कुल.
Mitch Marsh आए और गए. ऑस्ट्रेलिया भी वापस जाके आ गए. So I think Akshar Patel maybe there's a case to play him higher up.
Maybe.
Because he's the guy in form. और वो बड़ा adaptable नजर आता है मुझे.
और long ball भी मार रहा है. He's hitting big sixes.
बहुत लंबा मार रहा है.
बिल्कुल. And so there if he surprised you with this, these 5 names we can be a little harsh on. Mustafizur has always been a brilliant performer. The biggest fall, 64%. His stock price is down from his IPO price. It was 91. Currently, it's only 32.
Delhi का ये. It's matching Delhi's performances.
Lockie Ferguson, somebody who's super quick, bowls at 150, somehow just not managed to get there. Avesh Khan, Harshal Patel, as we've already discussed, last week also, really still not being able to get the ball. And Rahul Chahar, somebody you would have expected to do a lot better with the ball. He's a good spinner. Mumbai Indians के लिए पहले खेलता था. I guess that's why they picked him up. He's just totally gone off the boil. And there was a time जब India के लिए बात कर रहे थे उसकी.
Correct. I'm surprised Rahul Chahar के बारे में because spinners are doing well and leg spinners are doing exceptionally well.
Correct.
And he's the only guy who's actually not in that cluster who's not doing well as a spinner and as a leg spinner. बाकी जो नाम लिए आपने.
But Mustafizur,
they're all fast bowlers as yet.
But his Yorker used to be unplayable at one time.
And but I think it's just corresponding with the fate or the status of his team. This was a team का
हाल चल
रहा है वो उनके बॉलर्स का भी हो गया.
ऐसे टाइम पे क्या बोलते होंगे वो जब ड्रेसिंग रूम में जाते होंगे जब रोज हार हो रही है सब क्रिटिसाइज कर रहे हैं कोई सोशल मीडिया ना देख ले क्या बोलते होंगे. एंड देखो पॉन्टिंग देखो गांगुली देखो ऑल दीस बिग प्लेयर्स इन द डगआउट
अगर करे as the bowling coach. So this I mean sometimes I wonder too many chiefs and no Indians run. I mean this is all speculation.
True.
But the team is really struggling.
It needs 1 or 2 big innings for a turnaround, but the key performances, let's talk about the guys that have made all of us happy. Sanju Samson scores 60 of 32 balls, Rajasthan versus Gujarat. Price change after this inning was 30%. He scored 49.5 points. Made so many say that if he doesn't stay or become a permanent member in the Indian team now in the 50-over format, we are kidding like the whole world. Would you agree?
I would completely agree. When you see him bat, I mean, he's got
class.
The touch of class so evident here.
Right.
And the capacity to, hit those big strokes at will is something extraordinary.
I mean, he hit Rashid Khan for 3 consecutive sixes.
आप सोचिए Rashid Khan Arguably.
और 2 विकेट भी लिए थे राशिद ने.
हाँ, his tail was up.
Yeah.
उसके बावजूद जिस तरह से उसने उसको मारा है, and Sanju Samson is what I love the Rajasthan lineup.
Yeah.
Josh Butler, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Samson है, और फिर finish करने के लिए Hatmayer.
Who's been in some crazy form.
Rajasthan versus Gujarat is looking to me already
final
is the contest to watch out for.
Man who came with the biggest reputation by far in this tournament, I think, with Cameron Green, Harry Brook.
Yes.
Harry Brook, 100 of 55 balls, opens the innings, and actually had a lot to say post-match conference. Was being trolled by the Indian fans. But the good thing is his strike rate 181, which is what we keep talking about. Points scored 66. Price change after this innings 42%. He was one of the players to watch out for. We said that.
Yes.
Do you think with this 100 price justified?
Of course. First century of this year's league.
Yes.
So I mean, he's a gifted player. He's a young player. These 3 guys under 25, Gill, him, and Cameron Green.
Yes.
They're going to be the toast of the cricket world. मुझे लगता है. I mean, if they don't, I'd be very, very surprised.
True.
इसकी बात.
And all format players.
In all format players. And Harry Brook की खासियत जो मुझे नजर आ रही है, extraordinary eye-hand coordination and very creative batsman. So you can't set a field to him. Front foot पे भी अच्छा है, back foot पे भी अच्छा है, and either side of the wicket. And last minute पे वो strokes change भी कर सकता है.
And the good thing with this was 12 चौके मारे थे. It's not the big 6 that we were thinking. जो normally बहुत मारते हैं चौके.
पहलवान नहीं है.
हाँ. Cameron Green is a big पहलवान of the lot. अक्षर पटेल की जितनी बात करें उतनी कम है. But bowls with 4 for 20, Delhi versus Mumbai, which is incredible. And then scores 54 or 25. Unfortunately, a losing cause because Delhi as a team is not. But I do believe that his time will come. And I think he's now in the Jadeja stage of his life, where Jadeja became this primary batsman. I think Akshar Patel is in that stage as far as Indian team's concerns are concerned.
What I think he's actually doing is he's keeping Jadeja on his toes.
Yeah, because
Jadeja is an established world-class all-rounder, has been for a long while.
Right.
And then here's this guy, and he said he's a clone है उसका. Yeah, he's very similar. ये कहाँ जाएगा? Because how do you get past Jadeja?
Correct. दोनों left armer है.
दोनों left armer है. But he's made a place for himself in the Test team, at least when they are playing in India.
True.
And he's matching him.
Back to back. Can you imagine, sir? We got Ashwin, Jadeja and Akshar. I don't think we've never had.
के खिलाफ, we would have lost that Test series, but for these 3
Correct.
guys.
That's true. I don't think we've ever had, with all due respect to all the greats of yesteryear, एक कपिल देव सर होते थे, लेकिन 3 ऐसे खिलाड़ी जो बैटिंग बॉलिंग दोनों
स्पिन बॉलर
बिल्कुल. I don't think we've ever had, and that also consistently. But this IPL has all been about this one man, Rinku Singh, जो चौके छक्के मारते जा रहे हैं. He's been the star. One of the 10 new stocks introduced on Sportiqo last Friday. His stock is already up 10%. He's been selected by everybody over there, and just the way he hits the ball, offside, big sixes, powerful boy. You think Indian team soon? T20 में at least.
भाई ट्रैफिक जैम है. कतार में बहुत से हैं. So the only way you can get into the team by performing consistently.
Correct.
Over many matches.
Yes.
ये नहीं है कि you can't be a flash in the pan.
Correct.
2 innings खेल लिए फिर 10 innings नहीं खेले.
Correct.
So that is, I mean, I don't know how the things go up and down, but Rinku Singh is looking like a spectacular striker of the ball.
True. He is.
And if he does it often enough, then it's very difficult to ignore him.
Correct. And in 1 week, 10% stock ऊपर जा चुका है. So Rinku Singh's stock is up 10% in the last week, which is brilliant, great pick. But a man who's back in form, scores 3 big sixes, scores 40 odd, is down 11%. Surya Kumar Yadav, Sky, must be really. The first run only must have been like the big shoulder problem off.
Like the weight is off his shoulders. But राहत की सांस मुंबई के लिए भी, इंडिया के लिए भी, खुद के लिए तो definitely.
Right.
Because you can't, you have such a longish slump.
Yes.
5-7 innings, and if you include test matches and ODI, तो
long time
हो गया.
Yeah.
And with so much competition, you can't afford to have so many failures.
Yes.
विराट कोहली के लिए भी पीछे पड़ गए थे लोग.
और यहाँ 10-20 रन भी नहीं बन रहे थे. 0 or first ball.
And Mumbai will look a better team after this. There'll be far more confidence in the whole lineup.
True.
Because Rohit needs a big score.
Yes.
But he's not looking out of form at all. They are looking out of form.
Actually, Mumbai's made a solid comeback. Sky, Ishan and Rohit all have scored. And that's why they won 2 matches on the trot. Ravindra Jadeja, we're going to, sort of wrap this up with the key players to watch out for. I think these guys are going to explode again. Jadeja up 24%, had a great game against Rajasthan after a few average performances. Hasn't looked in 100% color.
Right.
But I think he's a big match player. He's just like coming into the groove.
Yes, I think he bowled well in a couple of matches.
Yes.
He's a big match player, as you mentioned. Zyada batting opportunities nahi hai. He's come to bat with 7, 8, 9 deliveries remaining, and
Right.
you know the only
He got a
option-
6.
and you can't hit a 6
Every ball, yeah,
every
correct.
ball. So, but you know he's Ravindra Jadeja,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you can't discount him. I think he's coming into his own
Yeah,
very,
slowly.
very, very quickly.
These 3 players are our picks for this week. Remember, if you sit and choose wisely and you follow closely, आप बहुत पैसा कमा सकते हैं अगर आप smartly choose करोगे Sportiqo पर. Remember, you can always check out the explainer videos, which are all about the points, how you can choose, because the IPO happens before each tournament. So make sure you go check that out, and we'll catch up very soon again with Ayaz. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
A very action-packed week of the IPL finishes, but many, many more matches and many more weeks to go. This is Salil signing out of today's episode.